In last video, we understood simple state management and reactive state management with the help of GetXController. However, in this video, we will witness two more features of GetXController. First is workers and second is state mixin. Have you heard of debounce? I bet you have. In GetX, debounce is one of the worker. A worker will trigger specific actions when an event occurs. For example, when a debounce is attached to a reactive variable, the events are absorbed for a defined time duration. Suppose a user types 3 letters in the search box and stops. We want to invoke API when user has paused for at least 200 milliseconds. This is where debounce is very useful. It reduces making network calls unnecessary. To explain this with the help of an example, I will take the basic counter app. We have a counter as reactive int variable and one method that increments the counter. We want to print the counter value when user has stopped hitting the increment button for 1 second. In the onInit function, attach debounce worker to the counter variable with 1 second duration. Upon running this, you will witness that counter is printed after a second delay. There are 4 more workers: ever, everall, once, and interval. The ever worker is called every time Rx variable emits a new value. The everall worker, same like ever, but for a Rx list. The once worker is called when a variable is changed for the first time, not called for further changes. The interval is an interesting one. Looks like debounce. When user presses a button 60 times in 60 seconds, and interval is set to 3 seconds, then interval will deliver only 20 events. It will wait for 3 seconds to register a new event, whereas debounce delivers the last event after a threshold interval. Now let's talk about state mixin. You can say that state mixin is a mixture of simple and reactive state management, but with an extra feature. You will better understand it with the implementation. We will go back to our old example, post list. Remember, in last video, we loaded list of posts, but there was no loader until there was no response from the API. Also, there was no way to handle error. With the state mixin, you get some statuses like loading, success, empty, and error. In the post controller, use state mixin. Before making API call, invoke change function with loading status. Once API returns with data, again call the change function with post, but this time with success status. Now in the UI, use controller.obx, which has a different builder for each of these states. In the loading state, we will render circular progress indicator. Now to simulate a longer API call, I have added a delay in the API call for 3 seconds. If you get error from API, then we can set status as error with a message and handle it in the UI just like loading. Last one is empty, and it's also evident that if list is empty, you might want to show a different message. So use empty status and define a widget for empty state in the UI. And that is it. You see how complex use cases are easily handled. That's what I like about GetX. It solves many use cases with ease. So this is the end of the video. Leave your feedback in the comments and show some love by hitting the like button and sharing this video in various Flutter forums. And if you are new to this channel, support me and the channel by subscribing to this channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.